Jim. Goalless draw. Not a great spectacle. What are your thoughts on it?
That's an understatement. It was a poor game. I've just done 2 previous interviews, so I'll just gather me thoughts on it again. Yeah, so last week we didn't get what we deserved in a 1-0 defeat away at Kings Lynn. Kings Lynn went and gone beat Kidderminster the full-time club on Tuesday 4-0. So put it in perspective slightly. We got done on a dubious penalty. That was the first shot on target, 81st minute. And then there was one in the latter stages. We got beat at the top of the league, Curzon, Tuesday night. Didn't deserve nothing. They were slightly better than us. Scored from a set play, we switched off. Could have nicked an equaliser at the end. Deserved result. Coming to today's game, last time out we were brilliant against Warrington in the Cup. Absolutely outstanding. We've been a threat here, we've scored goals. I think we're 3rd or 4th top scorers in the league. At home, we've been poor away from home in that department, but certainly at home we've done all right. Marine are struggling, but I think they're underachieving. I look at them, you know, the players they got. I look at the you know, some of the games this week. You know, they were unlucky on Tuesday against Spennymoor. They won last time out. They struggled at the start of the season, so acclimatised, but they've got better. They've, you know, chopped and changed the squad and the team a little bit and brought different players in. And they offered a threat, so we knew it was going to be a tough game. But again, although they're in the relegation positions, and it wasn't so long ago we were in the top 5, people say about derby matches, the form goes out the window. So we said that before the game. They'll be up for it. There's going to be a big crowd on. And in an ideal world, you play as well as we do against Warrington. We win the game comfortably and everyone goes home and says, wow, they've done it again. But that's football. It doesn't happen for whatever reason. Trade off in formations, weather, pitch, whatever. That's not me making excuses. But me criticism of me players certainly at half-time, which I said to them, where we were the ones at home, but we were the ones who looked a little bit starstruck by the crowd, looked a little bit jaded, looked a little bit flat, quiet, shoulders forward, heads down, shaking heads, body language was poor. And you can't be like that. Again, I said there, you know, I'd give a left arm to be here, playing in a derby game today, 2,500. First time the teams have met, you know, in the league for whatever, many years or whatever. But we didn't do enough. We didn't win enough duels. We didn't win enough second balls. Our decision making was poor. It was very, very poor by our standards. And to be fair, we've usually been quite good at home. We let our guard down against Hereford, Peterborough Sports. But again, that's football. It happens. But we've bounced back. We've had some really good days here. You know, we beat Scunthorpe not so long ago. We were outstanding against Warrington recently. And you want to replicate that and do it all again. But it wasn't to be today. So a few stern words at half-time. Started the second half a bit better. Got into their half, forced a corner or two, a couple of little half bits and pieces. And then it just went flat again. So that's why we made the triple substitution around 58, 59 minutes. Give us a little bit of a lift. We probably had the best chance of the game with the header down the back stick that the keeper saved down to his right. Looked a good save. But yeah, fair play to them. They've worked hard, they've competed, they blocked us off, they sat off us and let our back 3 at it. We couldn't play through them. When we tried to play direct, I thought their back 2 was solid. So we've just come up short. It is what it is. You can't, you know, we want to win, we want to play good football, we want to create and score goals, but it's not always going to be the case. But the big thing is, and I said this at half-time, if you can't win it, make sure you don't lose it. And another criticism of mine for them was, you know, those latter stages of the game, we give far too many cheap fouls away, opportunity to put the ball in our box. We in these tight games, when people are getting tired and mistakes happen, sometimes you've got to play for territory, game management, hit good areas, let them make mistakes, let them under-hit a back pass or fresh air one or whatever. They hit better areas than us. They got them into better territorial areas than what we did. Our clearances were under it. We kept inviting it back. And I'm just thankful that we never lost the game, because it would have been a hammer blow. So I've been here long enough to look at these games. It wasn't a great performance by us. We wish Marine all the best. I thought they were decent on that evidence. I think they'll move up the table. I've got some good players. We win ourselves for whatever reason. I'm glad we haven't got a midweek game. Gives us an opportunity to rest and get a couple of our key players back up to speed. We've probably dipped in form again, which happens. We take the clean sheet, we take the point, and there's a lot of draws in the league today. So we've just married up with a lot of them. Nothing really gained, is what it is, and we move on.
In front of a bomber crowd, which is probably a rare 2,000 for Southport, is it frustrating that you didn't really manage to lay a glove on Marine at all today?
Well, we had the best chance with the head around the back stick, that was about it, but not enough when you're at home. What you want to do when you get a big crowd, and I've been here loads of times, you want to put on a good performance. We had Scunthorpe recently and we beat them 3-2. It was a good crowd on and everyone went away, cock a hoop, everyone's made up. You know, we want to come here today, play as well as we did last time out against Warrington, and everyone goes away, I'll have a bit of that again, and suddenly your attendances fly up. The attendances have got better, the crowd have been outstanding. We've just dipped individually in form as a team in tight games. Peterborough Sport, very tight, made a couple of critical errors, cost us. We huffed and puffed, never got the equaliser in the end. Probably, maybe deserved it looking back on it. We deserved a point last time out against Kings Lynn. We didn't deserve nothing against Curzon because I thought he was slightly better. We got what we deserved today. But as I say, in an ideal world, you want to put a show on. You want to replicate what you done last time out. You want to win the game. It just makes everyone happy and the feel-good factor. But again, you look at the likes of City playing Liverpool tomorrow. Everyone going, wow, massive game it is. We've had loads of that in the past when you settle down on a Sunday afternoon to watch a top Premier League game, some of the best players in the world, and you go, what a drab game that was. That's what happened today. It was a derby match. Both sets of fans travelled and got behind the team. Or they travelled more than what ours have, obviously. Both sets of players had a go. They come out on top slightly in most departments first half. Bit more even second half. Not a game to write home about. All the other bits and pieces, it happens. So you can't be too doom and gloom. It's a tough league. Everyone's capable of beating anyone else. We've lacked a little bit of consistency. We've proven that we can beat good sides. Take the point, we move on.
In games like that, is it frustrating and disappointing when you can't really call on any players to pick it out of the lurch and maybe try and drag it over so it's not one of those?
That's what you're looking for, but again, we've got one or two players who're struggling for a bit of form, being perfectly honest. We're missing, obviously, Danny Lloyd's our top scorer. You know, he might have been the one that gets a goal from nothing or does a moment of brilliance. He's got it in his locker. We just need one or two more to step up. But what I will say is that I was a little bit concerned at the start of the year around our defensive, our defensive record. Although we were creating and scoring goals, we let too many in. You know, that was a theme last season as well. We've identified it with personnel and formation. It never worked out for us at the start of the season, but certainly now. You know, if we look at the last week, Kings Lynn are a full-time club. We had to leave the ground 8:15, long journey, storm. They had the first shot on target, which is a dubious penalty. And then when we're pushing for the equaliser, they had another shot on target in the last kick of the game. So we limited them to very little. We were reasonably solid, apart from a couple of little bits and pieces against Curzon, who were top of the league. You know, and they've just gone and put 3 past Chorley, who were top of the league. You know, so if we go back against Saturday, Kings Lynn beat Kidderminster on the Tuesday 4-0. So they're a full-time club. So we've been a little bit more solid. We were a little bit more, quite solid again today. You know, Chris has made a couple of routine saves, but I don't recall a real clear-cut chance. Robinson got into the box right before half-time and half-volley one over the bar. But I can't remember much else. So, you know, we've got to be more solid. We know that. And it doesn't take rocket science, and no one, needs to tell me where we need to improve. It's the goal scoring areas. As I say, we're third or fourth or whatever top scorers in the league at home up until today. You don't score, but you keep a clean sheet. It is what it is. It's just turned on its head. You know, last year we weren't great at home, but we were very good away from home. This year we've been reasonably good at home, but poor away from home. So, as I say, it's a long season. It is what it is. We didn't have that moment of brilliance. We didn't create loads or enough chances to give us a better chance of scoring a goal that might have won us the game. But it's not for the ones that try. We've changed it today. We had a box midfield and one up front against Warrington, and arguably our best performance of the season. But no 2 games are the same. We come in today and thought, well, we can exploit a little bit of pace against the Tarn defence. Josh Ward will come in and thought to play very, very well for them. But he hasn't played for a long time. He's played on Tuesday night. He's had to go again today, and we thought if we go 2 up, we might get legs down the side of them, and we've changed it around a little bit because of the games that we've been playing, etc. So we've come with the right mentality of trying to win the game. We want to play as well as we did against Warrington, but it's not always the case, as I say. So we've had a go. The stats will back that up, that we've ran and we've competed. But it happens, we've just come up a little bit short. We didn't do enough. Certainly first half, we were better second half. But yeah, sometimes you get what you're given, or sometimes you get what you deserve. We didn't get what we deserved last Saturday. We got what we deserved Tuesday, which I've already said, and today we got what we deserve, which is a 0-0 draw. It's a drab game, big crowd. Everyone goes home a little bit disappointed, but that's life. We've just got to make sure that we move on, respond, and have a good week, and then come back next week in the FA Trophy and try and win that game.
You mentioned that playing the likes of Curzon and Kingston, 2 teams at the top end of the table. In terms like you mentioned the creativity in the week as well. Is there any worry at all surrounding the creativity and the goal scoring output?
It's early days in that regard. Okay, we haven't scored for a couple of games, but we have done it. You know, Luke Burgess scored 2 last time out here. Sonny Hilton come off the bench and scored. Dave Morgan scored recently. Marcus Carver's been brilliant for us, but obviously hasn't got the goals. Danny Lloyd's our top scorer. You know, we've gone away to Warrington in the one of the cups and won 2-0. You know, so I think Dior Angus scored that day. So we've got a couple. We've been a threat from set plays. Tom Moore's got a few. You know, we've looked a threat. I think the quality of delivery at times hasn't been what we expect and good enough, but I thought it was there today, and arguably the best chance of the game fell to a set play. And sometimes these games are settled on a set play or a decision. That's what happened again last week. It was a dubious penalty. It's not for me, I think, being perfectly honest. But it is what it is. They go and score the goal and they win the game, and then they go and win again, and then suddenly they're right at the top end of the pack. We've been there. We've done it this season. Is it concerning? The more it happens, the more it does get concerning, yeah. Ultimately, because, as I say, every time we turn up at this football club, or we go away and we jump on that coach, we go with the mindset of trying to play football, trying to create, you know, opportunities, try and score goals and try and win games. Not always what you want. So we've had it numerous times this year. We scored 3 against Scunthorpe. You know, we've put a few past a couple of the other sides. You know, Scunthorpe were right up there, or the biggest club in the division, and we go and put 3 past them. We don't score in a couple of games. It can't be all doom and gloom, and it's my job to make sure that we remain positive, remain focused. Thursday's training was a lot around finishing and small-sided games, loads of goals going in, nice and fizzy, and you know, you're looking at the lads and they're chomping at the bit. We come here today, for whatever reason, we haven't got up to the speed that or the standards that we expect. That's life, as I say. So we'll identify it, we'll watch over the games, as we always do. And come the next training session, we'll be ultra positive again, because I've learned again in football, if you look back and dwell, you don't get anywhere. You've got to reflect, review and move forward. And all our energies now have got to go into next Saturday's game in the FA Trophy, try and create, try and score, try and win the game and move on.
And just a final one, kept the lads in the dressing room slightly longer tonight. Was there any particular message there? Just
around half time, to be honest, around what I said at half time about how we want to be perceived. You know, they're an honest bunch, they work hard, they come into training, you know, one of the best bunches I've had. They're all right, they're good kids, good lads, good men. And we just need them. And it's an isolated moment today, because I just did think first half, body language is massive for me. I'm a positive person. I think they should be on the front foot, vocal, competitive. They were competitive, but you've got to find a way of getting you better of your opposite number. They did that better than us today. So I mentioned that at half time, 1 or 2 other little bits and pieces which obviously stay in the dressing room. But there can't be too much doom and gloom. We're better than what we were last season, this stage. It's not going to happen overnight. We've tried to change things and become better. The club's trying to change and become better. Sometimes you're going to hit these bumps in the road. We've had one over the last 3 or 4 league games because we haven't won, but take into consideration, played a derby match today, full-time club last Saturday, away from home, miles away, Conference North, madness. Curzon Ashton, I think, have a fantastic side, got a little bit of everything, pace, power, height, played together for years, know each other inside out. They're top of the league. You know, we let our guard down against Peter, we weren't as good as what we can be. But we're not going to jump from the rooftops or sing it from the rooftops when we're beating Scunthorpe at home. You know what I mean? So we've just got to make sure that we take it on the chin. We haven't lost the game, which is a positive. We've kept the clean sheet, which is a positive. We've looked reasonably solid recently, which is a positive. At the top end of the pitch, we haven't done enough. We haven't created enough. We haven't scored enough goals to win games, ultimately. So that brings on the nil against our name, more often than not recently. So football is the way it is. It can soon change. All energy is now going to next Saturday and try and win that game. If we win, great. We move on to the next one, which is Needham Market. If we don't, we pick the bones out of it. We identify things, whether we've got to change certain bits. Do we get Danny Lloyd back, who's our top scorer? All the bits and pieces that go with it. And we try and win the next game. It's as simple as that. That's football.